Hey, hey, gang. Troy W. Hudson, the voiceover with personality. It is the second Friday in March. Welcome to the VoiceOver Weekly Stew. Talk about unprepared. This guy. But, we're going to get through this. Don't worry. I think we will be going out to LinkedIn in a few minutes. I'm not sure. When I was setting up this live, literally an hour ago, something weird happened, and Restream, the software, the browser setup that I use to schedule the lives, said that it failed, and then it said, oh no, it'll start at 5 after. So I'm not really sure if it's going to start at 5 after or not. So if I look up at the clock and go, oh, hi and welcome, you'll know why I'm doing it twice, and you're, it's like, what are you doing? So I'm going to try it. I'm not sure what's going to happen, if it'll automatically go live or if I have to click a button. Regardless, this is live, so thank you for joining me. If you're on the replay, then this means nothing. Tasha. Hi, Tasha. Tammy. Hello, love. And Dane is here in the house. There he is, Dane. Yep, you're here for the beginning. Howdy. Digging that music. I know what you mean. There's my sweetie. There's my darling. How you doing, baby? And I can't. And there's my sweet daughter, Tasha. Yes. So I know she has a crew with her watching today. My grand youngins, Claire and Jack, all the way out Colorado territory out there. So, yeah, Grandpa says hey. Dad says hey. Darlin says hey. Yo, Dane. So, yeah, got that out of the way. So just kind of stretching here and kind of waiting to see what happens on LinkedIn. I don't know what's going to happen. It might prompt me. It might not. It might kick me off this live because I'm scheduling another live. Don't know what's going to happen. TikTok, oh well. Last week, really enjoyed the opportunity to share a lot of work samples, and that was kind of fun. Got to kind of peek under the hood, and that's always neat. I always love to watch voice actors who do that. They kind of give you a reveal. It's like, how do they adjust? How do they tweak? How do they tune? What do they do to adjust when they're going from a commercial script to that's called, that needs a kind of a low key delivery, and then they transition into something that's real high energy, and then they may have an e-learning thing or a character voice or something just so off, and it's like, do you go Sybil or something? It's like, it's basically just kind of knowing where to shift and what to do to adjust, and it's still a process. It is a work in progress for me. Always learning, always trying to figure it out, and always trying to interpret the direction if I'm not given any direction based on prior experience or just looking at the copy and just remembering that this kind of style normally goes here and this kind of style normally goes there. But the bottom line, baby, is to always just be yourself and just know where yourself is in your range, and just, a lot of it's instinctual. Some of it's just a lot of, reading a lot of copy. And the best thing I always like to tell people that are trying to get into it is you got to get used to the sound of the voice in your head because you spend a lot of time with this voice in your head, the one that's actually audible. And so you got to get used to that, and you got to get used to just kind of tweaking little things, going up or going down or just moving in or moving out. Speaking of which, that sounds a bit like Dr. Seuss, doesn't it? Well, that's right, gang. 6 o'clock. I did not even have time to put up the story I was going to be reading, but Story Time with Troy is coming up. That's right. Hop on Pop. I thought it was appropriate as I led into that. Did you get the segue thing where I was doing the kind of sing-song? Anyway, Hop on Pop. Yep, you see it. Dr. Seuss is coming up. And I had the graphic built and everything, and then I ran out of time. Oh, well, 6 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. This is happening. I guess it would be 5 o'clock for them grandbabies out in... I have to bring this up. Tammy says, Sparky is watching too. Now, for those of you who may see that later in the comments, you don't know who the Sparkster is. allow me to, I'm not sure if I can get out to Facebook without breaking something. So I do want to bring this up on the phone, although I'm not sure if I'll actually have it up on the phone. I'll have it up on the screen. And I want to show you who the Sparkster is. Where is the Sparkster? No, that's a bicycle pump. Okay. All right, I don't know if you can see him. Yeah, there he is. That is Sparky. Sparky, do you see yourself? This is your father talking. Yes, Sparky is the newest member of the Hudson clan. There he is. That is artificial grass. He really likes artificial grass. But yeah, that is the Sparkster. Sparky, if you can see yourself, shout out. He is a little rascal. He is a Maltipoo. That is a mix of a Maltese and a little baby poodle. And he is a firecracker. Tammy is the mama. Yeah, so that is Sparky. That is Sparky, and he is currently watching. So shout out to my boy. He is a little rascal. So 2 golden retrievers and now a little Maltipoo. That is Sparky. So aptly named. There were a few days where didn't really know what the Sparkster was going to be called. Went through things like Ollie and a couple of other names. I'm not sure if I'm on LinkedIn right now, so I guess I have to not talk about dogs. Please. He's a family member. He gets talked about. He gets shout-outs, just like every other family member of this guy. It's just the way it is. So I'm talking to puppies and grandbabies and family members, and this is fun. This is really, he's wagging his tail. He's wagging his tail. I'm not even, I could do a dad joke right now, but I'm not going to do it just to keep it family friendly. Yeah, he does, Dane. He does look like he does resemble a cute little stuffed animal, but he is 100% live and active. And you know what those puppy teeth are like. I guess he's about 8 or 9 weeks old now. Just had him for a couple of weeks. And he is such a joy. And very vocal and very smart. Very, very smart. So, just another reason to be proud of my kids. So yeah, I'm so glad. It's a very mixed audience today. Look at the live numbers. Wow, that's kind of intimidating. So that's what's coming up at 6, the Hop on Pop book. So I was mentioning sharing a lot of samples of the work and kind of just adjusting for different copy. This week, I jotted down a few notes because this past Saturday, I feel like I need some scary music here, but I don't have any handy. So I'll just simulate. Dun, dun, dun. Okay? So imagine there's like scary organ music introing this, and you hear the reverb voice say, taxes, says. Yes, taxes were dealt with over the weekend. The bane or the, hey, it's tax time, depending on your geekiness, or if you're getting anything back, of the solopreneur or self-employed folks all around this fruited plain in the US of A. A necessary thing you do, and hopefully all along the way you're holding back money along the way. Me personally, I held back a certain percentage off every single job I made, off every single dollar I made, excuse me. And so that's just part of it. I mean, you stick that in the bank and you wait and you make your quarterly tax payments if you're doing it right because you avoid the penalties. But lo and behold, the beginning of the year comes and then you have to start collecting all your paperwork. Yes, I know you should do it month by month to stay organized. I'm not organized, so I did not do it the proper way. I get an organizer every year. I purchase one off Amazon. I try a new one every year because it's like, well, this one will help me. No, it's not the organizer or the folder set you get. It's having the discipline to every month or every time you get something you need to print out, whether it's a receipt or whether or not it's a purchase from something or an invoice or whatever it may be, you stick it in the right folder, and then when it's, 2022, you pull it out and you go, well, I'm just waiting on my 1099s for you folks who don't know what those are. Those are like W-2s, except there's no taxes taken out when it shows you the dollars that you made. So that's what freelancers and self-employed folks get from. I know this is rudimentary. It's probably boring to some of you, but it's kind of a necessary thing to talk about, especially it's March the 12th. And if you don't have your taxes done, brother and sister, let me tell you, you need to get them done. I think last year we got the extension because of COVID, if I remember right, even on the quarterlies. But I still made my payments close to on time just to make sure I had that. So I made the decision some years back that TurboTax just wasn't going to work for me because I really messed things up in 2011 or 2012 and ended up owing the IRS a good bit of money. And so got them paid off, but made that decision for the last 8 years. This fella is not taking a chance on doing it incorrectly. So I hire a professional CPA. And so the last 2 years I've been working with a gentleman up in North Carolina. This is the second year. And one of the things he encouraged me to do was just to keep more detailed records. He encouraged me, and if he's watching right now, what are you doing? You should be busy doing other people's taxes. But that aside, he did encourage me to stay more organized, and he made a suggestion on what to hold back. That's kind of important because you don't want to get at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year and go, oh, I should have held back 28% instead of 23%, and then you're like scrambling to make the payment. And it's not pretty. I've been on the catching up side. I spent several years trying to catch up until I was able to get caught up and not be in that situation in the hole trying to rush and get your stuff paid by April 15th or ask for an extension. So anyway, and so if you're self-employed, you are almost always going to be dealing with owing the IRS if you are because you're not getting taxes taken out. So it's a really important thing to stay organized. And the stress of it, here's where I'm going back around to it. The stress of it not having been organized meant that I spent an entire Saturday from like early in the morning. And I said, I had like where's that to-do list I had? Yeah, my to-do list, it consisted of taxes. And it was, that was pretty much, it took the whole day. So it was a matter of going back to all the sites I'd been hired on and all the invoices I'd sent out and digging through the PayPal reports and digging through just all the different things, and then also cross-checking to make sure I'd claimed all the things I'd purchased on Amazon for my business. And so again, I know you're like, that's so boring, but it's a necessary part of talking about the VO biz, the non-glamorous side, because everything else we do is glamorous. When you're talking about a heat exchanger or a valve opening or a lockout, tagout procedure, that is glamour, sweetheart. That is glamour. That's Hollywood. That is Hollywood. I forgot to mention, I'm going to jump back into the taxes thing. It is Red Cross Friday. It is Red Cross Friday. Yes, it is. Did you just pull a gun on me? Oh, no, you didn't pull a gun on me. Are those two guns? Yeah, I did it for you. You knew it was coming. So the platelets were donated today, and I got to tell you, I was really kind of woozy after this one. I didn't hit the snack table nearly as hard because I've been doing, DDPY yoga going on. I think tomorrow will be 50 straight. That's not 5,000. That's 50 it's like flashing graphics. 50 straight days of hitting the mat and doing DDPY. Very intense and eating cleaner and healthier with the assistance of this lovely lady who is really, really, really taking care of me very well. Love her. Where was I going? Oh, yeah, I didn't hit the snack table. Didn't hit the snack table nearly as hard. I grabbed for the granola bars, grabbed for 3 or 4 little apple juice in small little juice containers, and guzzled a bottle of water and then hit the road because it was like 3 o'clock and I needed to get home and get ready for this thing. So I got home and I was like really woozy, and I was like, I never feel this way after they did it. I thought, did they put 2 lines in and, 2 lines and pull out extra on me today? I don't think they would have done that. But I'm fine now. I had a cup of instant coffee. I guzzled some more water. I took like a 25 minute nap, and so I'm good. All right. So we got Red Cross Friday out of the way, and they sent me a really cool cooler bag for last year. It's really neat, just for like them doing that to me. So back to the taxes. A necessary thing. I'm not going to call it an evil, because taxes are, they take care of a lot of good things. And there's also a lot of waste, but we're not going to get into that. The taxes are necessary things. So staying organized is really key. So I spent the entire day dealing with that when I could have just spread this out and just kind of kept organized along the way. This is my commitment. If I am doing a live next year about this time, I will be so glad to tell you, or even in January, even in December. Actually, you don't have all the numbers by December. But sometime in January or February, I will be so happy to say, all my stuff is in here. I just need to fill out the report, plug in a few numbers, and I'll be good. So that is my goal for this year, 2021 taxes. 2020's back behind me. I'm just waiting to see what I owe. The accountant's going to tell me that probably in the next couple of weeks. I barely got it in on the deadline that he said he needed to send me all the information, and we do it. It's like I send it all via email. I don't have to send him all my documents. He says, keep your records. Just send me the summarization. So I sent him all that, and then he'll come back with, in about a week or two. But it just barely got in under the deadline. He said, if you want to get these things filed by April 15th, because he's got a lot of other customers, please send it to me now. So I sent it to him now. Sparky, are you falling asleep? Wake up, son. This is important. Your dad's talking. So let me show you a quick look at, I'll talk about some more exciting admin stuff in just a minute. But here is the calendar. Not nearly as hectic or crazy, but nonetheless, look at that. It's zooming out. And it's zooming in. The green stuff is Fiverr stuff. The red stuff is other stuff. And there were several Zoom meetings in there with prospective clients that hopefully I'll be working with coming up soon. And some good old faithful clients that I definitely love to work with on a regular basis. Won't go through the list because, again, this one's about admin. One of the things that I have committed to do that up until the point to where I was in a serious relationship, and my priorities shifted to that relationship, is he is a wild puppy. He is a wild puppy. Okay. Sparky is who we're talking about. One of the things that I decided to do is kind of shift my mindset. I've always been that guy that, if you need it, I'll get it done for you like as fast as possible. Now, everybody should have boundaries, and you should have some cutoff time. It's like if a client emails me at 8, 9 o'clock, in my time zone at night, I'm not going to rush in, 20 feet down the hall and drink some water and then get my mind into the game and send out audio. I don't do that, especially also because a lot of clients I work with are multiple hours ahead, some as many as 12 hours ahead. And so the schedules are totally flip-flopped, and I'll just explain to them, it's late evening, I'll get to this first thing in the morning. And so that's just an understanding that as a professional, you do that. As a courtesy, you respond, but you don't go rushing in there, and that expectation is not established. Well, one of the things that I decided, being that guy that always wants to make sure everybody's happy that I'm working with, which is a wonderful thing to deliver and make sure people aren't waiting on you and that they can count on you, is I have decided to transition from a 6-day work schedule to a 5-day work schedule. I almost had to do the math in my head. 6 minus 1. So 5 days, Monday through Friday, because when I'm in here, I am working very hard. My schedule is almost always full. There were a couple of gaps in there, but that's only because I didn't block it out. The things that I had earlier in the day kind of overflowed. And I'm never not in here doing something work-related, responding to email, I'm reaching out to people, I could be auditioning, I'm doing something productive in here. So Monday through Friday, I am in here from probably, I want to say, right about 9, sometimes a little earlier, all the way through 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I take about a half hour, 45-minute lunch break just to stretch my legs, get a good salad, get some more energy, drink an afternoon cup of coffee if I need to. I even sometimes take a little nap to rejuvenate myself if, it's just, the post-lunch thing sometimes. But so that's the schedule of my day. And then on Sunday has always been like, you keep that separate and set apart and sacred. And that was just like, no, unless they were willing to pay, unless a client said, this is a mad rush, can you do it? And it's normally not anybody I would work with regularly, but it would be somebody that would contact me, find me. They would want to have something done. And I would say there's a premium rush, Sunday work fee involved. And if it was really super rush, then they would pay it. But I have decided that not only is Sunday now set apart for life stuff, but I am making the decision that Saturday will now be set apart for life stuff. So, folks, it goes by so quick. I mean, honestly, it does. One day you're, in your 20s hustling and working hard, and there's a season for that, go get 'em attitude. And then there's a season for realizing that you don't have to work 6 or 7 days a week. You need to take time. You need to have a balance. If anything, over the last 7.5, 8 years, the thing that's become so clear to me is having a good life-work balance. I didn't say a work-life balance. Prioritize the life, that's family stuff, that's activities, that's hobbies, which, by the way, I need to get one. But it's enjoying, and the weather, it's not contingent on the weather. Now here's what I want to put this in fake brackets here. These are fake brackets. If I have a project or a client that really needs something done on a Saturday, I will squeeze it in on a Saturday morning, or Saturday morning makes the most sense, early on, and get it done. But I'm not going to book something intentionally on Saturday. I would become so busy through the course of the week that stuff would come in, and I would have to roll it over into Saturday because I really felt, and this was all on me. They weren't saying, we really got to have it by Saturday, because they're probably taking off too. But I would make myself, I guess I would pressure myself into delivering on Saturday. And it would just kind of stretch. And then by the time it was done, I had worked a full workday and into the evening sometime to make sure I wasn't working on Sunday. So the decision to go cut back to a 5-day work week is something, it's time. I'm not phasing out. I'm not slowing down or anything like that because, like I said, when I'm working, I'm working. But I am putting more boundaries on that time because it is sacred, it is special, it is limited, it is finite. So that's what I'm doing, and it's a very deliberate decision, and so much of it is based, really all of it is based on the fact that I have love in my life, and I have the love of my life. To thank for that new appreciation for just wanting to savor time and live life to the fullest. And so when I think about that, I get happy. I really get happy to establish those boundaries and to still deliver and do the best you can to be as accessible as you can. But you know what? Putting that phone away, not responding to the dings after hours or on the weekends, glancing at it a few times and just, when things are kind of slow and you're like, yeah, great. Thanks for contacting me. I'll check this out Monday morning and get back to you. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm enjoying mine, or something like that. Just to let people know that you're there, but you're not in work mode. And I think most people appreciate that or respect that. And I know they appreciate getting a reply back without having to wait 2 days. But yeah, the studio, I need to get a close sign to kind of put there on the studio just to let people know. So enough about that. The other stuff that I found myself falling behind in is invoicing. If you can believe that. I mean, I used to be in a position to where I could like knock something out and I would immediately generate an invoice and send it out. I don't have QuickBooks. I don't do anything fancy with the invoicing. What I do is just I use Apple computer. I use a Mac computer, and I use Apple. I guess it's the Pages software. It's like Microsoft Word, and I've had a template I use. And if I'm invoicing direct, then I invoice direct. I bill via Venmo. I bill via PayPal. I bill via I think it's called Square, Zelle. Direct invoices. So there's multiple different ways depending on the client's preference. I'll do it however they want to do it, whatever's convenient for them. But the process of invoicing sometimes when you're like book all the way down the calendar and you're in this mode. I mean, just literally I've got a pad here and I will just scribble a quick note. It's like invoice so-and-so, this project so-and-so. And I don't put so-and-so, but I do such and such and whoochamacallit. So it can be overwhelming sometimes. So that's another reason why just kind of scaling back the work hours and making sure that you stay on top of the invoicing. Because, I mean, come on. You're in production mode and you're not handing it off to an admin person. You are the bookkeeper. You are not the accountant, but you are the person that has to keep it straight for the accountant to know what to do with it. So it's all legal and right and correct. But there are some times when you just have to slow down and look at your system and figure out, okay, this is not working. I have got 3 or 4 invoices, and last week I caught up on all of them because I was 2 weeks behind. And this week I've got a few more, and I'm not going to deal with them Friday afternoon because in about 30 minutes I'm gonna read Hop on Pop, and I'm not thinking about numbers. I'm just thinking about rhyming. So yeah, and it's like wind down time anyway. I'll get to them probably sometime this weekend, but I'll dedicate maybe 15 minutes tomorrow. I mentioned that I don't work on Saturday. I do have one project that came in that I need to take care of Saturday morning. It's a short one. I'll get it knocked out, and then the rest of the day, life, love, happiness, live it. Okay, nothing to share this week except those kind of tidbits that I think a lot of self-employed folks can relate to, and I don't think I actually went live on LinkedIn. Oh ho hum, I'll have to check that out and see later on. But hey, thank you guys for joining me on the live. You guys ready for some music to close this thing out? I will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern for Hop on Pop. Meantime, you guys be blessed, be a blessing to somebody out there this weekend, and have a fantastic week.